Can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. Delighted as always to be joined by Thomas Cathy. This is a final prediction video for the big fight taking place in Australia this weekend between former world champion Tim Tszyu against Joseph Spencer. Thomas, good to be joined by you as always. It's an intriguing fight. Tim Tszyu coming off back-to-back losses, really needs kind of a win, was seen as the best super welterweight in the world. Now not so much. So it's an intriguing fight, and he's not in an easy touch as well. Joseph Spencer, good record of 19-1. Much younger than Tim Tszyu, and I'm sure he's going to go into this fight thinking he can win it. I'll hand things over to you now. What's your final prediction for this one?
Yeah, I see Tim Tszyu getting back into the win column here, as I'm sure most people do. And I think that he'll win by stoppage at about like round 8 or 9. Um, I just think he's a few levels above Joey Spencer, um, despite the fact that he's coming off those 2 losses. It will be interesting to see if those losses had any effect on him, especially the loss to Murtazaliev. Just got destroyed in that one. 4 knockdowns. It was absolutely brutal. So, I mean, that's a fight that could really take a lot out of you and potentially damage your career in the long run. So it'll be interesting to see if that has any effect on him, if he will be extra cautious. Um, but it's just hard for me to pick against him here. As I mentioned, it's just a few levels above Joey Spencer. Um, and it's just not really much that we've seen, or that I've seen at least, from Joey Spencer to uh, suggest that he would win. The one time he did step up was against Jesus Ramos and was just outclassed and stopped. So I would be shocked if we saw anything different from that here.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it's an interesting one with Tim Tszyu because he was seen as this monster, right? Who was just kind of the best at 154, very powerful, and kind of looked a bit too easy at times for him in certain fights. Had that brutal fight against Sebastian Fundora, and then went back into another world title fight against a very dangerous opponent, which clearly wasn't the right thing to do. In hindsight. I think now he's going up against Joey Spencer, who I imagine the way that Tim Tszyu's team are looking at things, it's as Joey Spencer is made for Tim Tszyu because Tim Tszyu has to win this fight. If he loses again, it's kind of a very long road back. This fight, according to my sources, is still at super welterweight. Joey Spencer been fighting at middleweight. Tim Tszyu's obviously been at 154 for a while now. Where's your head at with whether Tim Tszyu can become world champion again, Thomas? The other world champions, Sebastian Fundora, who's beaten Tim Tszyu, Murtazaliev, who's beaten Tim Tszyu. Obviously, Terence Crawford. Like I think it's very unlikely he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight Tim Tszyu. Um, can he become world champion again? I'm not asking if he can beat these guys, but obviously you've got the likes of Virgil Ortiz in the division, Charles Conwell, Israel Madrimov as well, of course. I feel like some people will happily write someone off very quickly, but where's your head at? Where's your head at for this one? Looking forward for Tim Tszyu.
I mean, yeah, he's in a real rough spot in terms of hopes of winning a world title again. And I think, if anything, his best chance would be a rematch against Fundora. Um, Even though he lost that fight, um, I think that the nasty gash he had on his forehead that was dripping into his eyes, the blood dripping into his eyes, I think that had I mean, was really the big thing that stunted him in that fight. I often wonder how different that fight would have went if that if that cut didn't happen, because the first few rounds, Tim Tszyu was definitely in control and just seemed to completely fall apart after the cut. So I'd be interesting to see. I would be interested to see how a rematch of that fight would play out. I do think, though, especially if maybe Fundora gets another title defense in, and the fact that he looked very good against Booker, his confidence is increasing, and he's fighting smarter. He's using his physical advantages. So that's still a tough fight for Tszyu, but if he were to win a title again, I think that would be his best bet because I don't see him beating Murtazaliev, and I don't see him beating Crawford either. So
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see. I wonder if Tim Tszyu could possibly move up to middleweight purely for the reason that you've got a better chance of winning a world title at middleweight than you do at super welterweight. A considerably better chance if you ask me. So I wonder if Tim Tszyu could do that. Who knows? Look, I just think his last fight probably shouldn't have happened. But it did, and it's a really intriguing one to see how Tim Tszyu gets on here. He could be a damaged fighter now, which would be a real shame. Or this could be kind of, the next chapter of his career, and we could see him in a big fight, in a big fight before the end of 2025. We shall see. Has to get past Joey Spencer first. Thomas, good to be joined by you as always. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll speak to you again very soon.
likewise, Elliot, thank you.